Hello everybody, and welcome to the SQL course. This course will not require any previous knowledge of databases or SQL. Just a heads up, this course will be structured in a way so that you can take notes or refer back to the videos whenever you're writing your own SQL code. SQL is a very different language from the usual C++ or Java that most people are used to, and I feel like this is the best way for someone to grasp the information. So let's get right into it. What are databases? Well, they are made to store information in a multitude of tables, which we'll see an example of shortly. Every company, firm, organization, you name it, will have a database to store all of its information. These tables can also be connected. So let's look at an example of one of these tables. This is an example of what a table inside of a school database would look like. This table would be called students, and some of the information it could hold is student ID, first and last name, grade level, and the zip code of the student's addresses. This is obviously a smaller version of a real student's table, as that would have hundreds and hundreds of rows for every single student. So let's look at an example of two connected tables. So in this case, we have the exact same students table, but we also have a technology table. Maybe in this school, every student is assigned a specific device. Because of this scenario, you can see that student ID is in both tables. If a value name is in two or more tables, those tables become connected, and it's possible to assume that the laptop with ID 35987 and the tablet with ID 34678 are both connected to the student John Smith, even though it doesn't specify the student name in the table. This can be assumed because of the student ID, and it's the same as John Smith's. So that's the basics for databases. Let's look at SQL now. What is SQL? SQL stands for Structured Query Language, which you saw on the previous slide. You can pass queries to the database in order to manipulate them to retrieve and insert data, update and delete records, create new tables and databases, and create procedures. The format for SQL, as mentioned previously, is very different from the traditional coding language, as they were made for two completely different things. SQL is all about keywords, which we will learn throughout the course. SQL is not case sensitive, so it is always good practice to write the keywords as all caps, because it's much clearer to see that way. Other basic syntax includes things like the table name dot the column name that will select the specified table and column. This is so that if there are two columns in different tables that have the exact same name, SQL knows which table you are taking the column from. Finally, the semicolon is not always required, but good practice to end every statement with. Thank you for watching the first SQL tutorial video. I hope to see you next time. Credits for the slide theme goes to Slides Carnival.